to make sure that when we finish, we have the answers that you want. So I'm certain that we don't have all the answers you want today. But on behalf of the ODU Police Department, I want to thank Chief Talbot and his staff, who were exceptional, along with my officers who were in the building very quick, and this was able to be brought to a resolution. At this time, I'd like to ask President Hemphill to please come up and say a few words.
To say the least, today was a tragic day for the campus of Old Dominion University. Our campus and our community have been truly shaken and forever impacted by this senseless act of violence. And we want to extend our thoughts and prayers to the families and the victims and those that were impacted by this act today. Also, I have to also join Chief in saying to our police officers and our emergency responders from the university, the cities, and all of the other agencies that responded so quickly and mobilized, we really appreciate them for their act. We have to give a heartfelt thank you. Your action and your bravery, as well as your courage, are deeply appreciated by all of those that you serve. To the ODU family, I commit the ODU as we move forward in the hours, the days, and the months to come. We will be dedicated to providing the services and support following this senseless tragedy. Thank you.
Mark Talbot, Police Chief for the City of Norfolk. I don't want to share any details beyond what Chief Shelton has already shared. I do want to say to the City of Norfolk, we've learned nothing here today that makes us think that there's anything to fear beyond what we're dealing with here. We're all here in partnership with our state and federal partners, with ODU, and everything that needs to be handled is going to be handled. God bless this university, the police officers and first responders, our firefighters that were out here within minutes, and moving forward, making sure that everything is handled the way it needs to be. Thank you so much.
All right, at this point, as best we can, we'll try to answer any questions that you may have for a few minutes. Yes, sir.
In what CBS states, at this point, people are probably wondering the condition of the victims who were sent to the hospital. Is there anything that you can tell us at this time?
So the one thing that I will share with you is that one of the victims is deceased, and we are working to get in touch with the family at this point, so we're not prepared to release that information. And the other two, as of right now, appear to be in stable condition.
The victim that went to the Virginia Beach Hospital, was that person less seriously wounded? Why would they go so far to the hospital?
I don't know the answer, other than they did exactly what we asked them to do when something happens, and that's run, hide, or fight, and they ran. And I think by the time, I'm guessing by the time they figured out what was going on, they went to the hospital.
So they drove themselves, or were they transported?
Don't know. It wasn't anything official from us.
Was that third victim also shot?
I don't have that information yet.
In a cynical world of violence, how do you look at a student in the face moving forward and say that we can provide you safety and make sure that you can get the education without the fear of the violence that we've seen today?
You know, I get this question a lot, especially from parents. And I'm a parent of college children. I certainly understand that. So in a cynical world, I guess what I'd have to say is we do everything we can as the university police, the Norfolk police, the state police, everybody that you see up here. This isn't the first time we've ever stood together. We stand together regularly. And we do everything that we can to protect the students here. Every one of these kids are my kids. And I treat them the same way and protect them the same way as I would my own children that are away at college. And I get it because I have a child who's about 3 hours, 11 minutes, and 30 seconds too far away from me. So I completely get it.
Chief, was there any prior intelligence, any threats, any warnings that led to today?
So I think that's a great question, and that's certainly something that we're diving very deep into. I don't want to get too far ahead of that. I don't have any information to suggest that, but I need to confirm that.
Was the shooter a student?
So at the time that we came over here, we were still working on the identification. What you have to realize is that while we evacuate the victims, we now have to go through and search every single room in that facility. There were students that we found hiding, and faculty and staff, and that we had to safely get them out. That's a long process. So we only opened that scene up to investigators about 30 minutes ago. So we don't have that information just yet.
How was our photographer witnessed that someone else being arrested or taken away in handcuffs? Can you comment on that? Is that
That was city police.
is it city police?
Yeah, I think sometimes there may be people arrested just for or handcuffed just for safety, but there is nobody in custody. The individual that caused the injuries inside of the classroom is deceased.
Was he shot by a city police officer, ODU, state?
We have, at this point, as I said, we just opened up this investigation, the scene to the investigation about 30 minutes ago, so we haven't even determined the full cause of death yet.
So it's not known yet if any police fired their weapons?
Not at this point.
We did hear from university, or the branch that works with the university, ROTC, and said they confirmed it was an ROTC classroom. Was there any, do you believe this was a targeted attack on that classroom?
It is way too early to even begin to surmise what that could possibly be. We just don't know at this point. I know that's the frustration here. I understand that. And trust me, on this end, I want to know too, real fast, real quick, so I can have all the answers. But I can't. And we've just got to let the investigation unfold. And we promise that as soon as we get to that point, we're going to set it up and tell you that.
Was more than one weapon recovered?
We have not gotten into the crime scene. We have not searched the crime scene. And that's enough on that question.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have time for one more question. Is it known if the third victim was also an ROTC member?
Not confirmed. We haven't confirmed that any of them are, or all of them were. So at this point, that's what we're in the process of doing. I'm not going to surmise that somebody may or may not be.
Can we do a question for President Hatfield? Sure. President, what's ODU doing right now to give resources and counseling for students?
Yes. Yeah, we are very much focused on providing support for our students, faculty, and staff. And so over in our BDC, we are set up right now for those who need support, and we are very mindful of the ways that we will be able to support our students, because this is a tragic day, and we want to make sure that we're doing everything in our power to support our family.
Where should people go for continued university operations for the remainder of the week and weeks to come, knowing that Constant Hall might be a crime scene for several days?
Yeah, we've not made any decisions around Constance Hall. We have closed the university for today, and we are closing the university for tomorrow as well.
What can students expect to see around campus? Will they see increased police presence? And also, was there any security with this particular facility? Was there metal detectors or anything like that?
So we don't have metal detectors in our classrooms, in our academic buildings. They're used at special events. We use them. We were there very quick. And based on the number of officers that we have, and the response time was well under what I expected it would have been. We're certainly going to be mindful that we need to be more present. I think that is an expectation that I would have if I were a parent, and we will do that. But it depends on how this unfolds as to what direction we take, but we would definitely want to make our students feel as safe as they can, and presence is a way to do that.
It's been a year and 2 weeks since the last shooting that claimed the lives of 2 people on campus. Have there been any adjustments made since then for campus security?
Say that again. I didn't quite hear you.
It's been, I want to say, a year or 2 years since there was a shooting that claimed the lives of 2 people on campus right outside of Dining Commons. Have there been last year? Have there been any changes made to security, any adjustments, any improvements for campus security?
Yeah, I think every time we have an incident, whether it's a burglary, a shooting, anything like this, we always make adjustments. I mean, that's my whole career. I've been doing this for almost 40 years. You have to make adjustments. And we've made a lot of adjustments in access control, making sure that people are supposed to be there. Same for our academic buildings. We want to, but we're an open campus and we're in an urban setting, so it comes with its own challenges. But I think that's a fair question. And it is something that we will always assess to see where we can be better. All right, thank you, everybody.
Derek, if you don't mind, I'd like to follow up on your question. I'm constrained in what I can say about the facts of the case, but I can speak a little bit more freely about the bigger questions. I know Garrett Shelton, and I've known him for a long time. I've known Mark Talbot, and I've known him for a long time. These men work every day to make people safe. The people are as safe on the ODU campus as anywhere, arguably safer than in other parts of Norfolk. This is not an ODU problem. This is a national sickness. We live in a country where people care more about guns than they care about 6-year-old children. They care more about guns than they care about synagogue worshipers. And they care more about guns than they do about college students. What that means is that it does not matter how hard President Hemphill works, how hard the chiefs work. Somebody will be a victim eventually. It is a matter of time. And until there is the political will to break the spell of the cult of gun absolutism, you will see more incidents like this. So if you're looking for somebody to blame, don't look at anybody up here. Look at our lawmakers who don't have the courage to implement sensible gun control measures. Look to a Supreme Court that enables them, and do something about it. So that is the lesson. Let's mourn the people who have died. Let's decry what has happened, but let's keep the focus where it belongs. It belongs on us and having to change something so that we don't have to suffer through this.
Attorney, you're known for coming to the scene of homicides. What's it like when you come to the scene of something like this on a college campus, just the age of the people involved?
My wife works on this campus. She was locked down today. I know what it feels like. But no matter whether it's on Bagnall Road at 1 o'clock in the morning or in Constant Hall, if somebody's dead, that person's somebody's baby. And that's why all of us are in law enforcement and why we do the work that we do. But we always suffer. We always suffer.
Thank you, everybody.